Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. Topping our news tonight, the victim of a Gulf water bacteria is dead in Sarasota County.
The Florida Department of Health confirms the victim was exposed to seafood. The bacteria is called Vibrio vulnificus, and it's commonly found in oysters and is most likely in the majority of raw oysters. For most healthy people, exposure to the bacteria can cause symptoms of food poisoning. But those with low immune systems, pre-existing conditions, and specifically liver disease, doctors say do not eat raw oysters.
Anytime the water temperature is over 70 degrees, chances are Vibrio is going to get into those oysters. Now, the strength of the bacteria, what we call the virulence, varies. And so sometimes it's going to be worse than others, and there's no way to predict that. Oysters are typically served raw, so there's nothing that the restaurant can do in preparation to prevent the infection.
The Florida Department of Health is not releasing the identity of the victim at this time.
The Manatee County Planning Commission is considering a request to allow phosphate mining operations near a water source in Manatee County. ABC 7's Adam Cellini has the story.
Will be used for a similar project.
Ricky Mafera and his wife Debbie are worried phosphate mining is coming too close to their backyard.
I've watched the natural habitat be messed with over the years.
The couple lives at the head of the Myakka River near Mosaic's Wingate East property, which the company now wants to start mining.
Out there, we're not like in here. We don't have the county water being pumped into us by pipes. We have wells in the ground. So our water source is coming directly from them right across the street.
Thursday, Mosaic presented a rezoning proposal for Wingate East that could alter approximately 685 wetlands and other surface water areas, which the company would offset with 800 acres of wetland mitigation in the same watershed.
Quite frankly, we know how to build them. We've been doing it a long time. There'll be more wetlands, grouped better, and the functions will be greater than what exists there now.
Mosaic also wants to run pipes inside the designated 500-foot setback near Duet Preserve, a point of contention for some commissioners.
It's potentially a little bit hazardous to be so close to the watershed with things that you're doing.
Mosaic hasn't had a water incident since the 70s and assured staff their proposed operations were no risk to the water quality in the area. But the Maferas remain skeptical of the company's promises.
They can get up there and say all that, but they don't know what's going to happen 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road when it goes back in and where it's going to go to, and it's being exposed.
Mosaic would also donate $2.5 million to the Manatee Community Foundation as part of countering the anticipated impact of the proposed mining to wildlife. Back to you.
Thank you, Adam. The city of Venice is preparing for a water outage at the end of the month. A contractor is replacing a potable water valve. The outage will take place on Tuesday, August 30th from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. Affected areas will be required to boil water or use bottled water for drinking and cooking. You can see the full list of affected areas on our website, mysuncoast.com.
Bob Harrigan is off this afternoon. Steve Newman in, keeping track of a busy radar screen at this hour. Steve?
You betcha, Scott. We've got some fairly hefty storms moving into parts of Sarasota proper right now. It's part of that Atlantic sea breeze that's pushing moisture in across the Atlantic in the heart of Florida. So we'll have another 2 or 3 hours of chance of thunderstorms before things start to dry out. And this is probably the last day we're going to see this kind of activity until the middle of next week. But right now you can see those fairly strong storms moving at about the Bee Ridge, Gulf Gate, going to pass right over Sarasota, and look at all that lightning, including those blue bolts, the positive strikes, the most dangerous, powerful ones. So if you're in Sarasota, I would say stay indoors for the next hour as the storm passes, because that lightning looks potentially dangerous. And you can see 6, 7 o'clock, the peak of the chance of rain, up to 50%. It drops off by about 8 and dry for the rest of tonight. And then for our temperatures, cooling off into the mid to upper 70s overnight. The complete weather forecast, and we have Tropical Storm Fiona in the Atlantic. I'll tell you about that coming up.
All right, Steve, thank you. A Sarasota-based circus operator facing charges in a deadly tent collapse will plead not guilty. Sarasota-based Walker International Events facing a felony charge of operating without a license and other violations. About 100 people were inside the tent in New Hampshire last August when high winds from a storm toppled the tent. The collapse killed a man and his 6-year-old daughter. 50 others were hurt. Corporations can face fines and sanctions on criminal convictions. Walker also faces lawsuits and other fines.
Venice's Wellfield Park has long been a topic of conversation and concern with city leaders. The park is owned by the city of Venice, but is maintained by the county. It's a relationship that has sometimes been frayed. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley has more.
One of the few sports complexes in South Sarasota County, Wellfield Park is normally a very active place.
I think the Wellfield Park's a great asset for the entire county.
And much of the county uses Wellfield, which is why many in the city would like to give it to the county to run.
The soccer team is huge, 800 participants, baseball, football, but they're not just Venice residents, yet we don't have the same capital contribution that goes into the county parks.
According to the interlocal agreement, Sarasota County is responsible for capital improvements, but there is a limit of $5,000. That does not include all the time and money spent on normal upkeep like mowing and trimming trees.
If someone ran into a bathroom facility, knocked a wall down, and it had to be a capital improvement, that's where the $5,000 limitation comes in.
This idea would mean the city of Venice would be responsible for the smaller pocket parks, something Sarasota County Commissioner Charles Hines is in favor of. In a telephone conversation Thursday, Commissioner Hines said the county is lacking important information, including how much money would need to be spent upgrading the park. This could fall in line with what the county's new Parks Master Plan says, to work on maintaining bigger parks and allow the city to take back the smaller ones.
The county is probably better equipped to run a big park like this. They have equipment they can move all over the county, and that's necessary for this.
Frank Bergerac is part of the Croquet Club, which meets at Wellfield. He's in favor of the county running the park and the city taking the smaller ones.
The other smaller parks have limited fields and large fields that need less large equipment. So they have the equipment for the little pocket parks.
In Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7.
Reporting in Venice, candidates for Sarasota County Commission are speaking out about local issues ahead of this month's primary. District 1 candidates Mike Moran and Frank DeChico, both Republicans, talked about the environment, tourism, and local business at today's Tiger Bay luncheon. The next luncheon will be held on September 1st and will again feature politics. The candidates for State House Race District 72.
Two women's organizations on the Suncoast are working to come together as one. The Women's Resource Center of Manatee and the Resource Center of Sarasota County are in the final stages of merging into a single organization. The combined organization will offer a host of programs like individual and couples counseling as well as career coaching.
A Northport company is being recognized as one of the fastest growing companies in America. INC magazine named Lightspeed Voice the 811th fastest growing company in the United States. Lightspeed Voice is headquartered in Northport. It handles voice communications for major companies all over the country. Lightspeed Voice executives were born in Florida and raised in both Northport and Venice.
We've grown it together as a team. So we have an outstanding group of professionals who truly care about the customer, and in turn we've gained loyalty across the country. We've gained recognition with national brands, and we're able to provide an outstanding level of support.
Past companies honored on this list include Microsoft, Under Armour, and GoPro. And Sarasota County is working to help small business owners. The county's libraries and historical resources hosting a series of workshops for business owners. There will be 7 workshops in all, held September through next March. The first happens on September 1st and will feature a discussion on how to grow your business through an increased web presence. It will be held at the Jacaranda Public Library in Venice.
And ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. Richard, a quiet day, but an up day on Wall Street.
Well, Haley, I don't know about you, but we'll take an up day, quiet or not. And indeed, it was very quiet, volume very low. I think we're getting to the last week of summer, not only here, but in the Northeast, the Hamptons, etc. And everybody's much more worried about their suntan than they are about what's going on Wall Street. The volume was low. The top to bottom range for the day was only 67 points. That's hardly moving. And you'll see just real whole lot of nothing going on. Let's take a look at the closing numbers. And not too exciting, but they are up. There you see the Dow up 24 points for the day, plus 26 was the high of the day, so we closed near that number. A gain of 13/100ths of 1%, closing at 18,597.70. That again on light volume of just 537 million shares. The NASDAQ for the day up 11.5 points, closing at 5,240.15, a gain of decimal 22 on volume of 1,426 million shares. And the Standard & Poor's 500 index also up decimal 22, just under 5 points at 2,187.02. Well, I expect you heard of a retailer named Walmart. They're only the largest retailer in the world, and their earnings today sounded like they deserve to be. Walmart announced earnings that came in well ahead of expectations, revenues as well. They announced that their same-store sales showed the biggest one-year jump in 4 years. Earnings, as I say, were terrific. They raised their earnings expectations now for the entire year, and this represents the 8th consecutive quarter in which Walmart has had an increase in same-store sales, the 4th consecutive quarter in which they've had an increase in traffic. In other words, the number of people who are actually coming through the door. So Walmart has had issues certainly trying to battle with Amazon, but right now looks like they're doing very well, and the stock closed at a new 52-week high.
And Richard, we're coming to Friday. What are you expecting for the last day of the week?
Well, Scott, if I had to guess, I'd say it'll be another quiet day. It's been all the way back since the 8th of July, since the Standard & Poor's moved by 1% in either direction. And based on today and based on that number, a very quiet Friday is very likely in order.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Richard.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a family vacation turns violent. A teenager is accused of stabbing his mom and brother on Siesta Key. We'll have details of that crime.
And ABC 7 chief meteorologist is off today, so we have Steve Newman in with us for your weather forecast. And timing is everything. How when you contract a virus may determine just how sick you get. That's ahead in Health News.
Welcome to the all-new Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice.
Seymour smiles.
Seymour selection of quality new and pre-owned vehicles.
Seymour for your trade-in.
Seymour savings.
Discover the new Buick and get cash back for up to 16% of the MSRP on select 2016 Buick vehicles. That's nearly $8,000 cash back on this Buick LaCrosse.
Seymour now at Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice. Go to SeymourBuickGMC.com.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Do you have what it takes to become a champion? The Sarasota YMCA Sharks swim team has been developing champions since 1961. Fall swim team tryouts for kids ages 6 through 18 are being held August 15th through the 18th and August 22nd to the 25th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tryouts are held at the Evelyn Sadler Jones branch, YMCA's Selby Aquatic Center. For more information, visit sarasotayMCA.org/sharks.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Two of my favorite guests, Cash 3 and Play 4.
Surprise! We're Pick 3 and Pick 4 now.
Whoa!
But we still play exactly the same. We just got a fresh new look.
Speaking of surprises, I have one for you. Say hello to Pick 2 and Pick 5!
Introducing the complete Pick family of games.
We're family now.
The new Pick 2 and Pick 5 have joined Pick 3 and Pick 4 to give you more choices in your daily gameplay. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
A 16-year-old is charged with stabbing his mother and brother while the family vacationed on Siesta Key. It happened last night at a rental unit on Blind Pass Road. Sheriff's investigators say Melissa Ramgren and her 14-year-old son were found with multiple stab wounds. The boy is in critical condition at All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg, but is expected to survive. The family is from Massachusetts, where the woman is an elementary school teacher. Investigators say her 16-year-old son, Gus Ramgren, confessed to stabbing his mother and brother and is now in the Sarasota County Jail, charged with 2 counts of attempted murder.
The son of a couple killed by a Florida teen is speaking out about their death. John Stevens IV is mourning the loss of his father and stepmother. Michelle Mishcon and John Stevens III were stabbed by Florida State University student Austin Haroof. Haroof then allegedly started biting Stevens' face. Investigators say Haroof most likely took the synthetic drug Flakka. The victim's son believes there is more to the violent behavior than just drugs.
Normal people don't make the decision to go take drugs and then kill people, regardless of what was in the drugs.
Experts say Flakka is very popular in Florida because of the cost. It can run as little as $3 a dose.
State-backed Citizens Property Insurance is urging regulators to support a rate hike to cover water damage claims. The Florida Office of Insurance Regulation held a 2-hour hearing on the proposal today. It's expected to rule on the request next month. The office reported the state had seen a 46% increase in water damage claims and a 28% increase in costs since 2010. The increase of water damage claims was initially concentrated in southeast Florida, but now appears statewide.
There are indications in the filing that the spike in water claims is going to cause, in order to be able to make sure that reserves are sufficient to pay for that, you would need to collect more premium dollars.
It puts us in a very, very difficult position in that we must charge actuarially sound rates, and those actuarially sound rates are going to be increasing substantially.
If approved, the proposed change would go into effect next February. And Bob is off, Steve is in, and a lot to see outside
yeah,
right
looking
now.
at that tower cam shot, it's pretty ominous.
We got some big storms around, a lot of lightning, so stay indoors if you live in proper Sarasota. And you can see that shelf cloud moving eastward over the area. Very impressive, a lot of lightning, and it's going to be with us probably for about another hour. Our chance of rain will drop off very quickly once we move into about 7 o'clock. Look at that. It's actually quite beautiful, but the lightning is very dangerous. Taking a look at temperatures across our viewing area at this hour. Rain-cooled Arcadia, 77 degrees, and while Sarasota at the airport is 84 degrees, a lot of areas in the 80s. If you factor in the humidity, the temperature humidity index, Parrish wins the award this hour. 101 feels like 99 at Sarasota, but you can see once you get the outflow from those storms and the storms themselves, they cool off. Arcadia right now 77 degrees. And here's the radar. A lot of storms moving from the Atlantic sea breeze across the heart of Florida, and it'll take until about 7 or 8 for that whole area to move past. But the one approaching right now downtown Sarasota sort of formed between Northport and Venice, and there's all that lightning, especially those blue bolts. Those are the dangerous positive strikes that come from high up in the storms and have a strong charge and can actually kill you very easily. So stay indoors for the next hour. Our tropical weather outlook. We do have Tropical Storm Fiona that formed yesterday, and this is an area, an easterly wave that blew off of Africa that has a better chance of developing or at least becoming a problem. It's going to move on a more southerly course, and we'll be keeping an eye on it through the next weekend and into next week. It could approach the Bahamas, but again, it's a more southerly storm. But as far as Fiona is concerned, it has winds at 45 miles an hour, and it's moving on a northwesterly course. And over the weekend, winds will increase by tomorrow to 50 miles an hour and then drop off as it encounters cooler waters. But it is probably not going to affect the United States. Maybe this time next week, it'll be bringing rain to Ireland and Scandinavia. Now, there's a little wave in the atmosphere that'll bring a little hint of autumn in the northern plains and northern Rockies tonight, tomorrow, and into the early part of the weekend. But we're controlled by high pressure, but a little subtle change as this cool front brushes the southeastern states and a little wave in the atmosphere moves past us. I think it's going to shut off this sea breeze we've been getting day after day. So less of a chance of the afternoon and evening thunderstorms, but a greater chance of some in the morning. That's the weather word right on through the weekend, and a lot less chance at that. Here's the RPM computer forecast showing of the storms passing by us tonight and then dry for the rest of tonight. And tomorrow, look at this. While we do see some fire-ups going on, there's not that huge organized area that's traveling and barreling across Florida to hit us, and maybe a few interior storms late in the day, but really not along the immediate suncoast. A close-up view of that same model shows the storms moving westward across us for the next couple 3 hours and then dry with an offshore wind flow developing overnight. Here's our weather headlines. We will have less storms developing as we move into the weekend, and also a great weekend at that. Great for the beach with the less storms, great to get out on the water, but those storms will come back by the middle of next week. Here's a marine forecast showing our winds will be southwest of the afternoon to 10 knots. Seas 2 feet or less. Bay and inland waters will have a light chop. The Gulf water temperature at New Pass 87, 89. My forecast beach temperature for tomorrow. Here's my forecast for tonight. Those storms will be around for another couple 3 hours, then partly cloudy. Low of 76. Winds becoming light overnight, and tomorrow a partly sunny day with only a 30% chance of widely scattered afternoon thunder showers, mainly inland. Our high temperature about 90. And here's the 7-day outlook, and we don't do this very often this time of year. A 10% chance of showers on Saturday, and it gets a little moister as we move into next week. But Scott Haley, it'll take till Wednesday for the greater chance of storms to come back.
All right, Steve, thank you. Checking Suncoast Traffic Watch. At this hour, we have reports of a crash on I-75. This is in the northbound lanes, right near the exit for University Parkway. And as you can see, there's red and yellow on the map as you head north on the interstate before University and beyond. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, new research in mice suggests the time of day when an infection starts could play a role in how sick you get. Researchers found in mice that were infected in the morning, the virus replicated much more than it did in the mice that were infected with the same virus later in the day. The study was published in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. The difference may be due to the mice's circadian rhythm, or biological clock, which plays a part in our immune system. Researchers aren't sure if the results apply to humans, but the findings could explain why shift workers, for example, are more vulnerable to infections. A huge catalog of human DNA is helping researchers find tiny glitches that cause disease, in part by pointing out some false leads. The database contains genetic codes from more than 60,000 people. It's aimed at researching rare diseases that are generally caused by a single malfunctioning gene. Most of these diseases are so uncommon that the general public has never even heard of them, but there are thousands of such conditions. An analysis in the journal Nature shows that the database can be used to correct the record for tiny variations in DNA that were incorrectly thought to cause disease. The World Health Organization has appointed billionaire philanthropist and former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg as a global ambassador to help spur governments and donors to tackle prevalent diseases such as cancer, diabetes, heart, and lung disease. His official title is the WHO Global Ambassador for Non-Communicable Diseases. Bloomberg will help mobilize global action to prevent and treat non-communicable diseases and combat injuries, which together account for almost 80% of deaths worldwide. A fire spreading through California, and it's so big it can be seen from space. Plus, a young girl in Sarasota gets her birthday wish granted by some local heroes.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Learn how to prepare a readiness plan and survival kit. Know your evacuation route. Be prepared, Suncoast, when severe weather threatens. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Temperatures are rising, and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get the all-new Chrysler Pacifica for just $26,999 and get an additional $1,000 off with a trade-in. Hurry! Time is running out to get the new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. And right now, get up to $10,000 off a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
A massive wildfire is raging out of control still today in Southern California. The Blue Cut Fire, as it's known, has already scorched more than 31,000 acres since Tuesday. More than 80,000 people have had to evacuate. Dry weather and winds are making the flames unpredictable. More than 1,500 firefighters are battling the flames, along with a dozen air tankers and 17 helicopters. So far, it's only about 4% contained. Now, the fire is so big it can be seen from space. NASA satellite shows the fire burning in San Bernardino County. The weather is expected to improve tomorrow, which may help firefighters gain greater control of that fire.
A Minnesota couple didn't expect anything unusual when they went out to lunch recently, but they got the surprise of a lifetime, courtesy of their sailor son. A pizza party over lunch is a good way for these military families to lean on friends when communication with loved ones is short and far between. So, for a fun family who likes pranks, Petty Officer Jackson Owings pulled one on his own parents. They were reunited with each other for the first time since Christmas.
It was very difficult just because my job is very demanding, being working on a flight deck, so we don't have as much free time as some of the other people on the ship.
It wasn't Owings' first time surprising his parents, and it probably will not be his last.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Very special celebration for an 11-year-old Sarasota girl. Today is Alanis' birthday, and she requested to celebrate with officers from the Sarasota Police Department. We're very happy to grant her request. They had cake, as you can see, and pizza as well. And they sing pretty well, too.
Yeah.
It's keeping us all safe.
Very cool.
That's
Happy
nice.
birthday to her.
Happy birthday. What a day.
And still to come on your Suncoast News, preparing for the first day of school in Sarasota County.
Amidst the craziness surrounding the new school year, safety, as always, a top priority. We'll let you know about the big change in security for Sarasota County schools this year.
Air
coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ for only $299 per month, or a 2016 Lincoln MKX, Lincoln's premium sports utility vehicle, for $339 per month. We also have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Drive with the confidence of a 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty and complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, family owned and operated, and winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota Bradenton Airport on US 41.